welcome to Relish. I'm Alli. I am a yoga teacher, a nutritionist, and I'm here to talk about nutrition topics with you every week. Today's topic, ginger. I'm really excited to talk about ginger because I have it in some form probably almost every day. So, we're going to talk about the history of ginger, some of the uses of ginger, because there are so many different ways we can consume it. And then we're going to talk about some health benefits. I have 9 health benefits to discuss. Then we're going to do 2 recipes. 1 cocktail, 1 ginger pineapple fried rice recipe. So get ready to talk ginger. And as always, please put any questions or comments that you have down in the chat section of the page. And I would love to have a discussion with you about it throughout the show. So ask any questions or make any comments that you'd like that pertain to this topic, and I'm happy to discuss. So let's get started. Let's talk ginger. I've got our fresh ginger root here. I got a lot of it today because I wanted to get some for the 2 recipes we're making and just to have on hand because it's just really nice to have on hand. Somebody commented on Facebook asking how to store ginger, which that was an excellent question. And I said that the refrigerator, like it can stay fresh in the refrigerator for 1 to 2 weeks at least. So I buy a lot of it because we use it a lot. So let's talk a little bit about the history of ginger and what it is, basically. It comes from a plant family similar to the plants like cardamom, turmeric, and galangal, which is it's a kind of a root-looking herb used in Thai food and other Asian cooking. And it's interesting because some sites say that the origin of ginger is unknown, and then some sites say the origin is in Southeast Asia because that's where a lot of it comes from today. But the jury is out on where it comes from, I guess. But in India and in China, it was a tonic root used over 5,000 years ago for a lot of different ailments. And now it's cultivated in a lot of different places that are humid, tropical humid areas. So India and China were big places where it was cultivated a long time ago. Now it's other places. So it was also a really important article of trade back 2,000 years ago from India to the Roman Empire. And it was really valued because of its medicinal properties, which we will discuss those medicinal properties because there are a lot of them. So that strong, like spicy, sweet, kind of warm smell of ginger comes from a bioactive compound in ginger called gingerol, which I really like that because last week we talked about cinnamon, and the bioactive compound in cinnamon is called cinnamaldehyde. So this week is gingerol. So pretty easy to remember since it has the name ginger in it. And that is usually the compound that people are studying when they're studying ginger because that's the compound that has all the good stuff, all the good health benefits in it. So gingerol. And typically we are consuming the root in whatever form. We'll talk about the forms that we consume ginger as, but we are typically consuming the root, or it's also called a rhizome. And now let's talk about the forms. Different forms. So this is fresh ginger. You can get this, it's always in the produce section at the grocery store. Sometimes it's in the refrigerated section, like by the mushrooms. Sometimes it's out with like the onions and garlic. Whenever I go to a new grocery store, I never know where to find the ginger. So it's usually in one of those 2 places. But it comes in different forms. So we've got the fresh. You can also get it dried or also called powdered or ground. Those are all pretty much the same thing. You can have it pickled, you can have it preserved, you can have it crystallized or candied, and those are pretty much the main ones. So let's talk about each one a little bit, because in my research for this show, I found out some very interesting information. So the longer the ginger is in the ground, the more concentrated the essential oils become. So if the purpose of harvesting the ginger is to make essential oils, the ginger has to have been in the ground for 9 months or longer. And I thought that was really interesting. And then if you harvest it between 8 and 9 months, the skin is pretty thick. And that is typically what the form of it that they use to make the dried, the powdered. And that's what you're going to find in the spice section at the grocery store, is the powdered ginger, and that will have been harvested between 8 and 9 months. So that's what we use in baked goods, in curry mixes, and cookies, and cakes, and all of that. So that's typically harvested between 8 and 9 months. Ginger that's harvested at 5 months is not quite mature yet, and it has a thinner skin. So I'm guessing that's this ginger that we're talking about. It's tender, it has a milder flavor, and it's used as fresh or preserved forms. So this is the kind that's harvested around 5 months. And we're going to talk about the skin when we do our cooking. But I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to remove the skin. I used to assist cooking classes when it's been 10 years at least. But there was a cooking school when I used to do nutrition research, there was a cooking school near that area. And I would assist the cooking classes. It was really fun because I could learn more about cooking, and it was just great. All the different kinds of cooking too. Like I did an Indian class, I did how to bake bread, knife skills, all that stuff. So I assisted in those classes, and the woman, she was really great. The main teacher said, you really can consume the skin. It's just a little tougher. But she also showed me a really easy method on how to remove the skin. So I'll do that when we make our delicious food and cocktail over here. So anyway, around 5 months is what it's been harvested at. Whoops, it's always opposite. Okay, so there's also the crystallized or candied form. I do a lot of my shopping at Trader Joe's. That is always in the dried fruit section of the grocery store. And those are good. I mean, it's very sugared, but so it is kind of like candy. So you can eat it like that, or you can melt it down and make a syrup with it. I already made some of it, but we are going to have ginger simple syrup today, which you could also make simple syrup by just heating the crystallized ginger too, if you wanted. But we've got options. And then another, last but not least, form of the way we can consume ginger is pickled ginger, which when ginger is pickled, it's typically sliced really thin, put in a pickling solution, some sort of vinegar, and it turns pink. I don't know why or how, but it does. And that's usually served with sushi or other dishes in a Japanese restaurant. That's really good. You can just eat it by itself with your food, or without your food, just by itself. So pickled ginger is delicious. So those are all the different forms. Now let's talk about the health benefits. And you can also take it as a supplement. I did a little research on that. And typically the supplement, is just the ground ginger in capsule form. And it usually comes in like 1,000 milligrams per capsule, which is like 1 gram, equals 1 gram. So just frame of reference, because I'm going to be talking about some things about that as we discuss. So, okay, 9 health benefits. This is like, I'm always a little bit cautious to use the word superfood because no food can do everything, but there are some foods that have a lot. So we will loosely call it a superfood just because there's so many great things about it. Okay, let's start. Antioxidants. The component, the bioactive compound, gingerol, is found to be an antioxidant, which we know is great for us, all those free radicals floating out there in the world, or if we consume them, or they're, in bacteria or viruses out there in the world. So antioxidants are great for combating those free radicals and just eating them up. So that's a good thing. Also, antioxidants are very helpful for, like we said, helping to keep us healthy. And they can also help with blood pressure, heart disease, diseases of the lungs, and help promote healthy aging. So the more antioxidants we have, and especially different forms, the better. So ginger has antioxidants. That's great. All right. It's also considered an anti-inflammatory in some cases, which in that sense, it can decrease inflammation, swelling, and pain. We'll talk about the pain part a little bit later. But it has been found to help reduce symptoms of rheumatoid arthritis and osteoarthritis for some people. So that was pretty cool. And some people either take it by mouth, like the supplement that we just talked about, or they make a compress where you either grind the ginger or get a paste or something, and you make a compress and they actually put it on the area of your body that hurts, like your knees. So that was pretty interesting. So we've got antioxidant, we got anti-inflammatory, next antibacterial. This is great. Especially all the research that I did talked about how it's especially great for our oral health. So the active compounds in ginger, as we know, called gingerol, help keep our oral bacteria from growing. So these bacteria are the same ones that cause the periodontal diseases, like gum infection and things like that. So ginger can help reduce the amount of bacteria in our mouth and keep our smiles healthy. So I liked that. Anti-nausea. I think most of us, when we think of ginger and you wonder why do people take ginger, the big one is anti-nausea. So lots of different forms of nausea as well. So people have been taking ginger for seasickness for a long time. And the big one is pregnancy. There have been several of the big studies, the double-blind, randomized, placebo-controlled clinical studies. Those are the gold standard of studies. And they have found that, yes, ginger does help with nausea during pregnancy, which I could say that when I was pregnant with Joaquin, I ate a lot of those ginger candies that, like the chewy ones, and then they make the hard candy version too. And it does help. It does help. So I would say it helped me. I think other people do it too, but it is kind of a known thing that women that are pregnant, ginger can help with your nausea. I drank a lot of ginger tea as well. But they also have found that it could help with nausea associated with chemotherapy and any sort of post-operative nausea that somebody might encounter after an operation, that ginger can help that. So, anti-nausea agent. So we've got antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, anti-nausea, and one more anti, and then we have a few things that don't say anti in them. Okay, so it has been, this is early research, but possibly been anti-carcinogenic, so helping with slowing down the growth of certain cancers such as colorectal, gastric, ovarian, skin, breast, and prostate cancers. More research needs to be done with that, but that was a promising piece of information as well. And another preliminary piece of research out there is that it could possibly improve blood sugar levels, that it may help your body use insulin better, which then helps your blood sugar stabilize and just overall be a good thing. So there was a study done in 2015 with people with type 2 diabetes, and they took 2 grams of ginger powder. So those 2 capsules, each one with 1,000 milligrams. I don't know what form they took them. Maybe it was a capsule with all, but I'm giving you just a frame of reference. They took that and they lowered their fasting blood sugar level by 12%. So that's pretty cool. Also, it has been found to help, I read this on multiple sites, has been found to potentially help with menstrual cramps. Those of us that get that, this is some good news, some good information. There was a study done where women took 1,500 milligrams, so 1,500, 1,500, or 1.5 grams, that's what I meant. of ginger powder once a day for 3 days during their cycle, and they found that they did not have, their symptoms were less painful. So that's a good thing, and that's pretty easy, you know, and it's just ginger. You're getting the other benefits like the antioxidants and all that. So that's pretty cool. It could also, this is also preliminary data or research, but it has been found that it may help reduce cholesterol levels, which that is great. It can help particularly battle the LDL cholesterol, which is the bad cholesterol. So there was a study, I read this on 2 different sites, where people that had high cholesterol took 5 grams of ginger a day, which is a little bit, you know, more than the other studies for the other reasons, but 5 grams of ginger for 3 months, and they lowered their LDL cholesterol on an average of 30 points. That's a lot. That is a lot. That is great. So that's another easy thing to do. But of course, talk to your doctor about all of this. I'm not giving out recommendations of how much to take or what to do, but these are just studies. Definitely talk to your doctor before embarking on that. But I just thought that was interesting. And then back to the knee and muscle pain that we discussed as the anti-inflammatory. They have found that, some studies have found that it could help reduce symptoms of osteoarthritis, especially osteoarthritis of the knee. And also, while it doesn't take pain away, they have found that soreness, like I think mostly muscle soreness, so this is different, I guess, than the arthritis, but muscle soreness, they found that people that took ginger were in less pain than people that didn't take ginger from doing the same, I don't know, workout or I'm not sure. But they both had pain. One group took the ginger and they were in less pain the next day. So simple, you know, simple stuff. So that's great news. Okay, so those are our 9 health benefits. Antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, anti-nausea, anti-carcinogenic, improves blood sugar, improves menstrual cramps, helps reduce cholesterol levels, and helps with knee and muscle pain. So those are some pretty awesome things. Pretty awesome root. So now I'm going to show you this quick and easy way to peel your ginger if you like your ginger peeled. So I've got a small piece of ginger. I'm going to just show you here, but then I'm going to go to the cutting board and do it so you can see the result. Is you just take a spoon. Simple spoon, any size. You got your piece of ginger, and you just take the spoon this way and rub it on the skin, and it comes right off. And I like this method because if you use a knife, a lot of times I end up like cutting off way more of the ginger that I really wanted to when I just wanted to get the skin. So I will demonstrate. All right. So you just take, sorry you won't be able to see it very well, but I'm going to take the spoon and go like this on the ginger. I'll do one stripe and I'll show you how easy it is to get the skin off. Look at that. And it's easier, you know, it's easy too because you can just go around and do the whole thing. So if you want to take the skin off, oh, that smells so good. Super easy. Okay. Let's make a cocktail. I thought it'd be fun to make a cocktail, you know, get some inspiration for Thanksgiving beverages coming up this week. So we're going to make a kale ginger daiquiri recipe. So a couple of the ingredients you need. You need kale juice. So I juiced a bunch of kale in our garden from today. So this is some kale juice. It smells really good and earthy. But you know what? If you don't have a juicer, you can get juice at the grocery store. You could just get a green juice. It doesn't have to be just kale. You could get a veggie juice, carrot juice, any kind of juice. The star of this recipe, I think, is the ginger. But this is a pretty cool color green, too. Okay. And then we make a simple syrup of ginger. So simple syrup, super easy. You just do 1 part sugar, 1 part water. So I did half a cup of sugar, half a cup of water. Actually, I did 3/4 a cup of water just so it's like not super sweet. And then a half a cup of chopped ginger. I'm going to see if I can show you. I'll be able to show you after I strain it. So I already boiled it because it takes a little while. I didn't want to use up all your time just while we boiled it. So I boiled it, the sugar dissolved. It's been cooling to room temperature for probably 2 hours by now. So it's going to be really strong in the ginger department. So that's good. And where's my strainer? Okay, here's my strainer. I'm going to use this fine mesh strainer. Gosh, you can hardly even see that it's a fine mesh, but it is. Hello. I'm going to put this over a measuring cup. We're going to pour this through, and then you can see the simple syrup. Okay. Can you see what I'm doing? Kind of. Okay. All right, so we get the ginger chunks out of there. Super easy. All right. Now that just filled that, that's good. So this is ginger simple syrup, a key component to cocktails. It smells very ginger. This is going to be good. Okay, now fill a cocktail shaker with ice. And let's see, we use 1.5 ounces of white rum. Got that here. You can use any liquor. I think tequila would be really good too. 1.5 ounces, white rum. Okay, 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lime juice from about 2 limes. So I've already cut 2 limes in half. And we're going to squeeze that into the shaker as well. Okay. 1/2 and 2/2. And 3/2. It's going to be very lime heavy. That's good because I like lime. And lime. Okay. Then 3/4 of an ounce of ginger syrup. So this is a really nice shot glass. I think my parents gave this to me. 3/4 of an ounce. Okay, we got that line right here. This is the, whoopsies. Okay. This is the ginger simple syrup. All right. And 1/2 ounce of fresh kale juice. So that's a pretty small amount, but it's going to be a pretty green color. Okay, I did just a little bit more. But you really can do any juice. It's just this kale is going to make it so pretty. Okay. Then it says to shake it, but I'm just stirring it just because that's usually how I make my cocktails. Okay. Then you get your strainer because of the ice. And you pour this into, oh, that's so pretty. Oh my gosh, I'm totally making these on Thanksgiving. I think Raphael, my husband, will like this. So, cheers, I'll sip on this while I cook our beverage. While I cook our fried rice. Oh, that's nice. You can really taste the lime. But that is good. That is good. Okay, let's turn on the burner. So next, ginger pineapple fried rice. So I've got our ingredients here. It says use peanut oil. I don't have peanut oil or another like mild oil, but I like olive oil. That's what I cook everything in. So I'm going to do olive oil. You can use whatever oil you want. You can find both of these recipes on relish.com. The daiquiri is called Kale Ginger Daiquiri recipe, and the fried rice is called Ginger Pineapple Fried Rice. I will post both of them on my Instagram tomorrow at Alli Shircliff, ALLISHIRCLIFF, if you'd like to see the outcome of these recipes. Okay, so I've got my ginger, and I don't even know if it called for garlic, but I'm putting it in. Oh yeah, it doesn't call for garlic, but I'm putting it in because I love garlic. And green onion. So we've got, there we go, ginger, garlic, green onion. We're going to saute that, and garlic, and some green onion. I'm doing the white parts of the green onion. We're going to use the green parts of the green onion just for garnish to make it pretty. All right, so we're going to saute this up. It already smells really good. And then we add the rice. I'll take a sip while this is warming up. Really good. That's good, especially if you like lime juice. The kale juice is subtle. Just because it's really bright green like that, you would think that it's really kale-y, but it's not. Okay. I just love this combo. I do onions, garlic, and ginger a lot in this household. Not always green onions, but it's going to be good. Then, I made rice for lunch today for my son, Joaquin. So that was already done. But yeah, the next ingredient is rice. Already cooked rice. We'll add that in. This, I'm so excited to be putting pineapple in this fried rice. I've never done that before, but it's such a great idea. And then I'll probably add some ham or some sort of meat item for Raphael. I thought ham would be good. It'd be like a Hawaiian pizza, sort of, with the Canadian bacon and pineapple. Okay. So, we're adding the rice. All right. So, the next thing is we just let this brown. And really let these flavors mix together. I'm going to quicken this process since we just have a few more minutes left in the show. All right. Stir that all together. Then you add the pineapple. Wow, this looks good. This looks really good. So we've got ginger, garlic, green onions, rice, and pineapple in here. So you just stir this, and then you add soy sauce and sesame oil. I'm going to wait to add the soy sauce. Toasted sesame oil. I love toasted sesame oil. Okay. Oh boy. This smells so good, everybody. All right. Great way to use a lot of ginger. Okay, and that's it. So I'm going to take some pictures of this when it is finished. But that is the recipe, and it's going to be so good. Here, I'm going to take this off of here. And then, because we love kimchi in our house, I'm going to add kimchi to ours as well. Okay. So, I'll take some pictures. You can see the final product. But, ginger. I'll just tell you the 9 benefits of ginger again because there's so many good ones. Antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, anti-nausea, anti-carcinogenic. Improves blood sugar, improves menstrual cramps, helps reduce cholesterol levels, and helps with knee and muscle pain. This is a super awesome spice. I guess it's more of a spice. It's a root. So, try this cocktail. Let me know how it goes. I think it's going to be a really nice addition to Thanksgiving. And you know what? You don't have to put the alcohol in it. You can make it for breakfast just as a juice, too. So, thank you all for joining the show. And I love talking about ginger and using ginger in multiple recipes, so hopefully you'll try them as well. See you again next week. Have a great week, have a great day, have a great night. I'll talk to you soon. Okay.